Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of VS for Build. In today's episode, things are going to be a little bit different. I'm here working on the Evora, and Eric is in the other shop working on the 240Z. So most of the narration and stuff going down that I'm going to be working on will be over the Evora, but there will also be lengthened time lapses, better than normal, also including Z work. And I'll catch you guys up with that like on the lunch break and stuff like that. So it should be a good day. Stay tuned. Getting started on the Lotus, we're jumping right into the fiberglass repairs, the damage that was done by the wreck. So the goal for the end of the day is really to have most of that structurally repaired and getting close to being ready for repaint. And meanwhile, Eric is working on the frame rails for the Datsun over there. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start by getting this bumper off. I don't remember at all how it comes off. I'm hoping it's not gonna be too tricky, but I remember it's not very traditional, so I'll give it my best shot. That bumper cover was a nightmare to get off, but I remembered once you take that under tray out, it kind of gives you some room to come up from underneath. I think we're gonna have to take the headlights out later on in this project, but so dirty car, we know that. Pretty much everything else under there though is looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower the car down. We're gonna take it out of the shop and then we'll get the bumper set up on a work stand. That way we can jump into that. Got the bumper set up inside the shop. The reason I got the car out of here and everything is I've got a secret idea. I'm gonna try and open up that door and get the AC from inside the house to come into the garage, so it's not so hot. So on this bumper, for the repair, we're gonna be, oh no, I just noticed this. Oh, that's not too major. Dang, I don't know when that happened. Must have happened when this happened. So for the repair, we're gonna follow an instructional video that 3M posted, and we're gonna follow it to the T. That's fiberglass bumper crack repair, so it's exactly like this. And I'm gonna try and follow that video exactly how they do it, hoping for the same results. So first step is clean it up. So we'll go ahead and clean up the working area pretty well. And then the second step is we're gonna come in with the cutoff wheel, and they recommend actually using a cutoff wheel. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut through the crack so there's actually a gap so you can see sunlight through here, all the way through here, getting rid of any of the like fibrous stuff and junk that's gonna mess up the bumper kind of laying like it wants to. So we just got to basically cut through all the crack and make sure that if, like in this part over here where it's still spider cracking, that we get to the very end of it so it won't want to continue cracking. All right, so Eric's over there in the other shop. He finished doing the cutouts for the frame rails, so now they look like they drop down, and now he's building those secondary pieces that are also gonna get welded in, the secondary supports. Over here, I just finished cutting out the garbage fiberglass from the crack, and the next thing I need to do is go ahead and clean this thing up with soap and water, 80 grit sandpaper everywhere around where we're gonna lay the new fiberglass mat, and then I gotta build some sort of a support to keep this thing in line. That's the big thing, is we need to make sure it's all straight, because when you lay down fiberglass cloth, it's just like laying down a piece of cloth that's soaking wet. It has no structural rigidity to it. It won't hold anything in its place. It's just like a weird piece of cloth that you put down and then it dries really, really hard. So we have to make sure that the bumper is sitting in the exact right spot, or else I'll have to, like if we left it like that, this side's too high and I would have to sand that whole side off to basically make it level. So we can't do that. So I'll build a little support, clean it up, sand it up, and we'll be ready to lay fiberglass. I know it's really hard to see, but what we did was I took a piece of one of these paint scrapers and put a couple holes through it, and then put some bolts through from the bottom up, and that's holding the front at the correct angle that the bumper needs to be, so that's holding it where it needs to sit. So now that I've sanded and paint prepped the back of this thing now, I'm gonna go ahead and coat a couple pieces of fiberglass cloth and lay the glass on the inside here. All right, sorry if that was a little hard to see, but we laid up all of our glass. Well, not all of it. We did, let's see, we did two coats, 2 to 3 coats all the way through here, and then just 2 down here because that spot was like kind of getting a little bit too much weight to it, and I didn't want it to push down too far. And then we put 1 coat down the front here. It's always good to try and get, you know, one piece on the outside as well when you're dealing with a crack all the way through. Like something like this, we're just doing backup support stuff. On this, we're going onto the backside as well. So we need more coats. So that's the next step, is we're gonna give it more coats. Now this is dried up, I'm gonna go ahead and scuff it up with some sandpaper and apply the rest of the coats. I wanna get to 3 to 4 coats of coverage on this entire thing. And then the other big thing is the spider cracks that were caused by the wreck. So you can see when the glass flex, the gel coat cracked. It's like glass, that's why they call it fiberglass, you know, and the gel coat cracks, and those cracks are bad. You can't just sand down and paint over these cracks or they'll come back up. So you have to kind of dig into them a little bit, and you can use the cutoff wheel again to do that, and you dig into the crack enough that you can put some new fiberglass glass in there. So especially like these ones, you can see how they're kind of high points and they're tracing off, and this and that one right there. All those need to be done. So this will start to look really weird once I cut into it, but it'll be worth it in the long run because the likelihood of us getting more cracks from the same spot go down a lot. Now these micro hairline cracks right here all the way through here, that's something I'm just gonna sand into and hope I can repair with a little bit of body filler. So that's the next step for this piece, is fiberglass, more fiberglass on the inside and on that bottom. Obviously unscrewing now this this plastic piece right here that we screwed in here, we'll unscrew that so we can fiberglass over it and fiberglass all that up. Now before we do that, let's go next door and see how Eric did. Wow, it is way hotter in here. So Eric today worked on the drop down, so you can see he obviously cut that out and built a piece that connected in, and he welded it, and then he went ahead and flapped a bunch of things down smooth over here. So that's ready for our kind of diamond shaped plate to go over the whole thing and be welded up. That's if we want to do that. Eric was saying we probably don't even need to do it, and now that I'm looking at this thing, I don't really think we need to do it, but it'll look better. But it'll look better in a place that absolutely no one will ever see. So we'll have to weigh the pros and cons of that. But it is coming out really cool. It's really cool to see the vision kind of come through. So that's really awesome. I'm kind of glad, honestly, that Eric didn't get too much stuff done, because it kind of just proves to me also that this stuff is tough and it takes time. And this fabrication stuff, you know, it takes a little bit of time, but you know, he worked a full day out here, and we're seeing awesome progress. It looks more like a frame and everything else like that, but I'm glad he didn't bust it out 9 times faster than me, just about twice as fast as me. And he built a shopping list and all sorts of other great stuff. So that's awesome. I'm gonna grab some gloves when I'm in here, and let's jump onto the fiberglass work next door. All guys, so you can see how it looks a lot worse now, but this is actually for the better. So what we did was we cut into all of those cracks so we can get down to better fiberglass, and then we'll glass fill them back in. Now you may notice that this is still a nice little shiny surface. We haven't scuffed the paint up at all. That is on purpose, because this next round of glass that we're gonna put in here, I don't want it to stick to the paint. I want it to stick to the inside of all of these grooves that I made. So that's why that's done there. So the next thing that we're gonna do is get some fiberglass reinforced body filler, and I'm gonna dilute it with a little bit more fiberglass resin to make it a little bit less thick, so it'll get into these grooves a little bit better. And we'll apply a lot of that here. We'll do just straight up fiberglass reinforced body filler here to rebuild this ridge right here. And then we're gonna do the fiberglass more matte on the back side of this to get our third coat. Wow, that looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible, but it actually is all starting to come together. Once I hit that with some 120 grit, it starts to sand everything down flat. It'll start to look a lot better, and then layer of body filler. It's really coming together. I know that crack is really well, like strong, solidly repaired. I got about 5 coats on most places, 5 layers. I keep calling it coats, but I mean layers of fiberglass, which is more than I had from the factory on this thing. Turns out this thing was a lot of gel coat, a little bit of fiberglass, but it's coming together really well. So normally I'd sit here and let this thing dry and then we do body filler, but it's Chelsea and I's anniversary. So I gotta get home and clean up, and then let's go get the girl. Chelsea and I figured a little dessert is in order after all of our pizza. Time to hit up Bartony. We got fondue dessert. My first time having a fondue dessert. It's fantastic. They should make more things that are dessert that you dip in dessert. Back from dinner. That was fantastic. Good anniversary. We should do more of these, Chels. A couple more. Kind of a new format in today's episode. I don't know how it's going to turn out in the edit, but you know, Eric just completely working on his own, me not even being there, throwing the GoPro around and us getting footage that way, while I'm kind of working on a different thing. It's kind of weird, but that's what's going on with BS for Build right now, so I obviously wanted to show you guys that. Just let me know what you think. I hope what you guys think is it's more work being shown and more progress being done, and that's what you want to see, right? So just let me know your thoughts below. And happy anniversary to Chelsea. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there watching. I know it's a day late, but my sentiments go out to you. Is that a thing? You know what I mean. That's it, guys. Head over to BS for Build if you want to support. Head over to bsforbuild.com. Scroll down to the shop. There's all sorts of stuff available there. It's all still 50% off until it's gone. So check it out there. And if you want to find us at more places, we're BS for Build on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everything. We're BS for Build on there. Twitch, BS for Build on there. And that's it. I will see you again tomorrow when we get to painting that bumper. Peace!